So there's been a lot of talk about AI and gyms and fitness studios and how these worlds are going to come together. And it's a lot clearer than you think for some people. And it's also very cloudy and murky and even a little scary for others. But the only reason it's scary for some is because we don't really know where it's going and we fear things we don't understand or feel that we can't control. So we're going to dive into the way AI is already being integrated into gyms and fitness studios, especially some of the higher performing ones this year, and also where it's already going based on the breadcrumbs that we're following and we can see easily in our path. My name is Mike Arce. I'm the CEO of GSD Gyms. We've now worked with over 4,300 gyms and fitness studios all over the world, 13 different countries, 60 different franchise brands, and hundreds of independent brands. And we've helped more gyms get to over $100,000 a month than probably anybody else on the planet. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go to 100kplan.com and see how we do it. Okay, so let's talk about AI and gyms and how this whole thing works. And keep in mind, a lot of gyms have been using AI for a few years now, but they've been using it at a very preliminary level. It might have felt advanced in 2022 and 2023 when we were asking it to write our email copy and, read this contract and determine the best way to negotiate my lease or create a content calendar for me and all these things that I think a lot of people were doing back in early 2023. I think today where it stands is some people are still using it just for that. They haven't really advanced in AI. They just kind of kept doing the same thing over and over. And there's other gyms that already have AI doing things for them while they sleep and they wake up and things are done that they would normally pay a lot of money to an employee in order to do so, or they do themselves. So before I take you into that world, I'm going to really quickly use history to help you see the future, because if you've ever followed it, history is the best predictor of the future. And so there's this guy named Bill Russell. Some of you may have heard of him, especially if you're a basketball fan, but if you haven't, he's, I think, the winningest, if that's the word, the winningest basketball player of all time. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a legend. I think it's 11 championships with the Boston Celtics. Could be 9, but I think it's 11. And he's just a legend. But he was playing back in the 60s. Okay, so what does that have to do with anything? Well, Bill Russell was mowing his own lawn. He was washing his own laundry, his jerseys, his socks. He was getting his own sneakers. He was icing his own knees. That might not even been the right thing to do for the injury that he had, but that's what he was doing. Driving himself everywhere that he had to go, deciding what he was going to eat, if he was going to work out, what he was going to wear. He did it all himself. And that was normal. He didn't complain about it. He didn't know any other way. Who else was going to do it? What are you talking about? It's my body. I'm the basketball player. Of course, I've got to do this. Nobody else would have anybody else do it. And then all of a sudden, little by little, the NBA and their team started getting a lot more intelligent, and they started realizing that, I can get a lot more out of these basketball players if I could just get them to focus on basketball. And so when you look at LeBron James today, LeBron James doesn't drive or fly himself to the games that he gets taken. He goes into the locker room and his jerseys are already cleaned. Everything's ready for him. His sneakers are bought. They're laced up. They're ready to go. His rehabilitation and recovery routine is all mapped out and everything's ready for him. People are waiting. His trainer is waiting with the routine that he doesn't have to think about what I'm going to do today. It's just going to happen. His meals are cooked. They're decided on. Everything's done. Because they said, would LeBron be a lot better and play for a lot longer if we just allowed him to just focus on basketball instead of all the other stuff that's not basketball? Now, some of you may have already picked up on the analogy here. If not, let me walk you through it. So you are a fitness studio owner or gym owner, Pilates instructor, Pilates owner, yoga studio owner, something like that, right? You got into this business because you said, I want to help people through this way, right? Through strength training, through recovery, whatever it is. That's what you wanted to do. You could have been a banker, could have been an accountant, could have worked at a restaurant, but you chose fitness. Okay, you chose fitness, but here's the thing. How much of your time do you really spend focusing on ways to improve the delivery of your product? And how many delivery updates do you make? How much time do you really spend with your members and finding ways to get them on track and engaged and motivated? And how much time do you spend comparing that to admin work, payroll, bookkeeping, accounting, data entry, sales, retention, recruiting, retail, all these things? What happens is we are Bill Russell in the 60s as a gym in 2026, if you're still doing all those things. And what we're saying is, how do we just take all that away? How do we get everything off of the plate of the fitness studio owner and the gym owner that's not helping them become a better gym owner? That's not helping them help more people in the world of fitness. How do we just take it all away? And so I'm going to break down for you a lot of the things that are already being done, as well as the things that are pretty much you could see they'll be wrapped up in the next month to 3 months so that you won't have to do them. So let's get started. First thing is sales. A lot of gyms already have sales agents. Agents is just a fancy word for an AI employee, or skills if you're using Claude. But they have sales agents. I have one. If you go to gsdgyms.com right now, you'll see there's an agent on there that actually will sell for you. And it's not programmed through an algorithm where if you say this, it says that. It just knows our product inside and out. It knows you inside and out as far as the prospect. We've trained it on who you are, and we've trained it on our sales process. So everything I would say on a sales call, it's going to say here. You could also help it with replacing your sales training. We have a bot. His name is Monoid, and it's short for humanoid. I know we should have called him Hugh, but Hugh's our sales guy, so we just broke him up. But Monoid is actually our sales trainer. And so he will actually do sales training with our team based on our systems, like vocally. We can go back and forth with him, and he'll tell us where we messed up and where we could have done better, and also where we did great. He'll give us a full report after every role play session, which is really great. Also, with your ads. As of lately, Claude now integrates with Meta. What that means is you don't have to pay thousands every month or every year for an ad agency to run your ads anymore. You can just integrate the two, and just like you normally like get on the phone with your account manager once a week or once every other week or once a month, depending on their deliverable, you can do that anytime. You can do it right now. You can do it in 5 minutes from now. You can do it in 2 minutes from now. You can do it in an hour from. It doesn't matter. The point is you can get on the phone and you can literally just say, hey, which ads are performing best? How much have I spent so far? Which ones should I stop doing? What do you recommend I make changes to? Do you think I should create some new ads? If so, what do you think I should create? How should we split up the targeting? Whatever it is, right? It doesn't matter. The point is, whatever conversation you'd have with your account manager, you'd have with Claude. And if you don't know what I mean, it's Claude.ai. And Claude that's integrated with your Meta Ads Manager will just make the changes for you. It'll build the campaigns for you. It's amazing. I would say it's probably 7 or 8 out of 10 of where it's going to be in the next 3 months. But 7 or 8, believe it or not, is better than the 2 or 3 that you're getting with most agencies out there. So I still think we're winning. It's not 7 or 8 out of what we consider a 10 for agency world. Let's just leave it at that. Next is bookkeeping. And by the way, what bookkeeping reminds me of is what I'll say with ads. We already have clients, gyms that we work with in our program that already fired their ad agency and they're just doing the ads themselves with AI. And we also have gyms in our program that fired their bookkeeper and AI is just doing their bookkeeping. The cool thing about it is you don't have to wait until like the 10th, 12th to get your books anymore. You get them as soon as your last transaction comes in, which might be like the 2nd or 3rd of the month, and all of your books can be in. If it asks questions for you on certain things, just like a bookkeeper would, it would ask you. Funny thing is, it wouldn't have as many questions as a bookkeeper because it knows your business. Also, if you have questions, it can answer any question for you. It can give you the reporting as often as you want it, exactly how you want it, and you could ask it more questions on it. And it's going to make less mistakes because that's what it does. So bookkeeping. Next is payroll. Yeah, it'll take care of that for you. I know that's not fun. So it'll allow you to not have to worry about it, but also before anything's submitted, it'll review with you. You just go ahead and accept the review. If everything's good, it's good. If you have any questions on what you see, like, hey, it looks like Clarissa's getting paid a little more than usual. Why? And now it'll just tell you, yeah, she picked up some extra shifts. And also there was a 5th week in the month. And so that's what happened. You'd be like, okay, that makes sense. So anything you'd have to like go dig for, you don't dig for. It's just dug. It's already there for you. The next thing is any of the admin work. Like, hey, I want to organize our Google Drive. So this is this way and not that way. And I want to make sure that our CRM is cleaned up. And I want to make sure that the desktop is organized and all that stuff. No, all you got to do is say it and it's done. I want you to look at AI different than a computer or an engine. I want you to look at it as a human. So you can say like, hey, can you just do this? And they go, yeah, I can do it. And then they go do it. And then you go, thank you. And that's it. You don't even have to say thank you with AI. They don't have feelings. Next thing, websites, landing pages. Same thing. I built a website. If you guys were at my AI workshop, you saw me do it. If not, you can join our program where you'll see me do it because I do a bunch of this stuff quite a bit. But with websites, we were waiting for the ad agency we're working with for 2 weeks for them to build us a website. 2 weeks. When they finally gave it back, out of a 10, it was probably a 2. In 15 minutes, I built 3 pages in a funnel that I would give it a 10. In fact, they were dynamic. What does that mean, dynamic? That means depending on who visits the page changes. Just like Netflix. If I went to your Netflix or I went to his Netflix, they would look like different Netflixes. Why? Because what you watch and what your interests are very different than his. And so if Sally, who's 55 years old, wants to lose weight, that's very different of a website experience than 28-year-old Chris, who is still competitive and doing high rocks. And so you're able to actually change the experience depending on who comes to the site. So she sees women on the page that look like her, and it talks to her and about her goals and what matters to her. And he sees people like him and what matters to him and his goals. And so it's just a lot more fitting, which is great. And it's not lying. It's just, I mean, unless you're lying, but if you do have people like Chris working out there, it would show people like Chris. If it doesn't, it won't, right? So websites. And by the way, how do you build it? Imagine somebody that knows how to build websites is sitting right next to you. And you could say, yeah, I want a website that kind of looks like this, make it look like Apple. And, I want it to be a little bit more modern, maybe no more than 5 pages, really clean, simple, white. Here's our brand kit, here's our colors, all that stuff. So he builds it. He's probably not going to build it right the first time. Honestly, sometimes it's build it better than what my vision was the first time. But anything you don't like, you just go, wow, this looks really good. Can we just make the video go to the left side instead of the right side? And he'd be like, sure. Just like if a web designer was next to you. And then you go, hey, can you just eliminate that section? We don't need it. Yep. That's it. That's how fast AI is building your websites right now and your landing pages. Next, which I think a lot of people really like, is the recruiting. Yes, I need more people. I need better people. It's hard to find them. Yeah, well, AI can help you with the recruiting as well. Not only with finding people, but also with building out what type of people you would need for that specific role, what their scorecard should be, how often you should meet with them, what the job ad should look like, the job description should look like, the offer letter, it'll build all that for you, what their personality assessment should be based on that role. And then it'll actually even build a personality test for you to give to them to take to see if they actually match with the role that they decided this is the personality fit for this specific role, which is pretty dang cool. And then from there, you can even do the paperwork. Pretty dang cool. Next, the reporting. We've got a guy, we actually call this Dave's Morning Coffee, I believe. And so Dave is a member of our group, and he built a dashboard that gets sent to him every morning, and he has his morning coffee while reading the dashboard. And it's everything that he cares about, the stuff that he wants to know about in the morning. It's a combination of like the numbers from yesterday and up to the month so far, but also it's a combination of like things that are happening in the city that he's in, things that are happening in the industry, and things that are happening in AI, because he's definitely learning a lot about AI. He's using it quite a bit. In fact, he just hired what is now the most sought after role globally, an AI architect, which we're looking for another one right now as well. So an AI architect is somebody that literally just works for you and builds stuff with AI all day. It is literally the fastest growing role. You can't find enough people that can fill the role. So if you have kids, AI architect, that's where you want to go. By the way, when people are saying, like, is AI taking jobs? I just proved to you that a job was created. It's the most sought after, any role is the most sought after role, is an AI architect or an AI engineer, something of that sort. It'll build SOPs for you. So this will allow you to have systems and processes documented for your business so that you don't have to do it. And it could be optimized as the systems change, and it can be delivered in the way that's best for the person going through the SOPs. What does that mean? Well, that means is if I'm more of a visual person, the SOP will tell me what I need to do visually. If I'm not a visual person, it won't. If I have questions on the SOP, I can just ask it or I can talk to it. It's really amazing. Pricing. What if you had an assistant that was a pricing specialist that always told you if you were underpriced or when it was time to raise prices or maybe even lower them? Probably not. Or adjust pricing or come up with a better pricing psychology. It helps with that as well. Retail is another spot. I mean, having to look at what we still have on stock, what we're out of, what we're not out of, what's selling, what's not selling, what we should order more of, what's coming out. AI can actually help you with really getting a good handle on it. And again, you could ask it questions, you can have it make suggestions for you, all of that. What I'm saying with all of this is that the future of gyms is actually very bright. The future of a lot of businesses are very bright. We feel like AI is coming to take our jobs, but it can't take the thing that matters most, which is that human-to-human interaction. And I can prove it to you. If you haven't already noticed, there's a lot of AI music being published. If you've never heard one, go to YouTube and type in AI version in 1950s soul, and it'll actually play it in a 1950s soul music. It's amazing, and it's really good. You're going to listen to it, and you're going to go, that's like one of the best singers I've ever heard in my entire life. But here's what's interesting. I've talked to quite a few people that love AI like I love AI, and we've brought up the music. And what I've learned is, like me, everybody was very impressed by the music that was produced by AI, but not one of us could listen to more than 2 to 3 songs in a row. We're like bored with it after 3 songs. Like we could never do a road trip of all AI music. Why? Because we feel the singer. I went to an Adele concert. My wife's a big Adele fan. She took me. And while we were there, I thought Adele was cool, but I didn't really listen. I would never play her music, but if it was on, and I wouldn't tell people to change it. But at that concert, before every song, she talked about what made her and motivated her to write that song. And she spent about 5 minutes talking about it, which got me to hear the story behind every song, which got me to appreciate every song. And guess what? When I'm driving, I'm now playing Adele. Why? Because I feel the person. Why do we want to watch people run in the Olympics? Motorcycles go faster. We can already see something go faster. Why watch a human when I can watch a motorcycle? Because the human's like us. And why do we want to be a part of a gym? The number one reason people are joining boutique gyms and fitness studios now? Because these big box gyms now have studios built in, plus all the amenities, and they're cheaper. So why wouldn't they have all the business? Community is the one thing big box gyms don't do great at. And these boutique gyms and fitness studios do great at it. And the number one reason so far that people are joining gyms is to belong to a community. They want to be around people. And that can't be replaced by AI. We see it with music. And so what all this isn't human stuff. All AI is doing for us is taking away all the things that are not human needed so that we can be more human. The calculator was not meant to make you less you. The calculator was allowing you to solve a more human problem faster by letting something that isn't human solve a non-human thing. That's all it did. And the cheapest calculator that's, $5, $6 on Amazon, probably will run out of battery in 8 minutes. That cheapest calculator is more precise and accurate and faster at math than the world's best human mathematician. And nobody bats an eye. Nobody freaks out. Nobody's worried about it. AI is going to be better at human things than the best human at human things. And the slowest AI will be better at that, allowing us to be more human. Hope this helped you understand a little bit more about my vision and where things are going. I'm very excited about it. I've been passionate about AI now since 2022, and I'll continue to be as I've noticed that it's brought more into my world where I can be more human, more in touch with my customers and my members and working on the things that matter versus, all this stuff that nobody likes. So thank you guys for watching. And again, if you want to learn more about what it's like to be a part of our world, you can go to 100kplan.com, check out more there, and we'll see you next time.